Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another great edition of my Grue Rume Show. And for the Grue Rume Show today, I got a very awesome guest, and he's going to come on. He's going to be talking about his brand new song that's coming out called Me, God, and You. And I'm really looking forward to talking to him. And I don't want to screw up his name, so I'm going to wait for him to come on to say his name. I am Rocco Cross. I am the host at Stutters. I am the host of the Grue Room. And my interview will be coming up soon. This person, his voice is so good. Like, I had to reach out to him to interview him. Like, I heard a couple of his songs, and it is like his voice is incredible. And I can't wait to talk to him about his music and about his life. I am Rocco Cross, as I just said, and stay tuned for the interview because I'm looking forward to it. Thank you. Okay, buddy. Welcome to Gru, and thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me, man. It really does mean a lot.
Yeah, definitely. So the first thing I want to start out asking you is typical question is when did your passion start for music? Like when did you know you wanted to make songs?
Yeah, well, music has been around in my life forever. I mean, my dad played guitar, and he's the one that actually taught me. So I picked up the guitar when I was 4 years old. I didn't think much about it when I was at that age. All I knew is that I thought it was really cool. It was fun. I get to be like my dad. Let's do it for fun. But it really started taking off around my senior year in high school. My FFA advisor at the time was like, "Hey, Zachy, there's a talent show coming up for state. Would you want to perform?" I was like, "No, but sure, let's do it." And at the time, I was still really shy and nervous. I didn't really know what to do with my voice, and I didn't know what to do with music. It was kind of just a hobby for my friends and my family, and that's it. So she signed me up, and from there, I ended up winning against the whole state of New Mexico
Oh
during
my
this
God.
FA conference. Yeah, it blew me away. I was really shocked that it could possibly happen. And because of that, I got to go to National FA Convention in Indianapolis. I got to
Okay.
perform in front of over 20,000 FFA members. I
Ooh.
want to say it was at Lucas Oil Stadium, and that's when I realized like this is what I want to do. This is freaking amazing. If I can do this for the rest of my life, I'm here for it. The night before we got to watch Chris Stapleton,
Oh,
and
nice.
seeing him on that stage, and then the next day I got to sing on the exact same stage. It was very surreal for me. I'm very, very grateful for that moment. But ever since then, it kind of just started taking off and started posting TikTok videos here and there. And then a couple years ago, I released my first single, and now we have one coming out tomorrow. So it's crazy.
Exactly. Yes. And how did like your when I listen to your songs, like your voice is really good. Like you have an amazing voice. And
Thank you.
did did you train like did you go to like a vocal coach for that, or is it just something that you were born with?
I guess it's something I was born with. I didn't know what kind of music I wanted to sing. To be honest, I remember as a kid, I listened to every single genre you can name of. My dad loved like the Beatles. He loved
Oh
Journey.
yeah.
You know, um, Kiss, everything. It was like a mix of different genres. And then my mom was like Celine Dion. So I had like polar opposite things. And I remember like in the early 2000s when Lady Antebellum was very, very popular and Blake Shelton was Billy Currington. That's what I kind of listened to. And from there, I started listening to a lot of like old George Strait, Hank Williams, George Jones. I fell in love with the music where it's still guitar playing, it's still steel pedal, you still hear fiddle, and it's real instruments being played. It's truly amazing. And I think around the summers that I worked on farms, that's all the music I was listening to, like old 90s and 60s country music. It's something I could relate to,
Nice.
and I found my passion for it, and that's the type of music I just kept singing and singing, and kind of developed, I guess, in a way, made it my own.
I love it. I love it. And so you went on American Idol,
Yes, sir.
and you got the gold ticket and everything. So how was your experience like being on American Idol?
Honestly, the experience was absolutely amazing. I was in a very interesting year where it was COVID, and because of that, there was different scenarios and protocols and such. But I did a Zoom audition. Um,
Hmm.
did a Zoom audition. I skipped all my classes. I told my professors I had a meeting, is what I said. And did my little audition, and from there, I was very grateful that they sent me an email saying, "Hey, these are your flights. This is your hotel." And I was like, "Oh my God, someone used my credit card. My mom is gonna kill me. I'm screwed." And then maybe like an hour later, it says, "Congrats, you've been invited to do an audition with American." I was like, "Oh, whew, shoot." No one used my credit card. But then I was like, oh my God, this is actually happening, And I went to Ojai, California. I did my audition there, and it was truly an amazing experience. I got to meet a lot of amazing artists that I
Hmm.
still keep in touch with today. And I mean, all of us are kind of doing things. Some people have record deals now. Some folks are still just singing and making videos. It's just amazing how we're all connected in some way, and it's like a big family, really.
Oh yeah. So you still keep in touch with like a lot of the people from Idol.
Yeah, I still keep in touch. Yesterday, I was just on TikTok live with one of them as actually. So
Really?
definitely stay in touch as much as we can. And a lot of the folks I've made friends with on the show, they all live either in Texas, Oklahoma, Tennessee. So I travel around those areas all the time. So I stop by whenever I can. Like, hey, are you home? Are you on the road? What's up? And we go from there. Really.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
And where do you live at now? Because I was reading like you live in Nashville, Tennessee. Was that somewhere you moved to, or is it some?
Yeah. So I'm from Las Cruces, New Mexico. So this is where I grew up. I
Okay,
moved here when I was 10 years old.
okay.
My family and I moved around a lot. I grew up in a military family, so wherever my dad went, we all went.
Oh
Really.
wow.
When I was 10, moved here and stayed here for basically all my life. I moved to Nashville. I'm gonna say in the spring of 2023, and
Okay.
I recently moved back home.
Oh, you
Nashville,
did. Okay.
yeah. I as much as I loved Nashville, I just miss the environment of New Mexico. It's
Yeah.
still very um, open roads. It's very I don't know. They call it the land of enchantment for a reason, and it's just something that I missed. I missed my family. I missed the cultures, the foods. And
Hmm.
you go to Nashville, they don't got green chili. Like that's a big thing in my life. People don't understand that, but green chili will change your life forever, and you put it on
Green.
your eggs, everything.
Oh, I never heard of green chili, so you have to tell me what I love chili like the so
Yeah,
I definitely want to know what green chili is.
yeah. So here in the state of New Mexico, the question that everyone asks is red or green, and if you say red, something is wrong with you because it's green all the way, in my opinion. But we grow a lot of green chili here. It's called Hatch green chili, and Hatch I want to say is about 45 minutes from my hometown. And
Okay.
in the summers I would go up there and I worked there a lot. So they're Deming, New Mexico, Las Cruces, and they're basically just green chili peppers that you roast around August. So around August, you smell the different aromas from the chilies because everybody's roasting, and you put it on everything. You put it on tacos, enchiladas, eggs. It's truly amazing.
Now, is it made into like a type of sauce, or is it just roasted peppers?
A little bit of both, Like I like it where after we roast it, we usually package them into small little Ziploc bags, and then from there, that's it. I'll chop it up and then put it on my plate. But sometimes, I mean, you can turn it into some sort of like salsa if you wanted to, some sauce. It's endless to be honest. I like putting it in soup as well. So I'll make some potatoes, we'll cut up some potatoes, put some beans in like a little crock pot, put some green chili, some chicken or beef. It's a great day.
So you definitely like the hot and spicy food, right?
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nice. I mean, I like spicy food too, but it it sounds like you experience a lot more spice and hot stuff than I did.
That's fair. That's fair.
And so what was like the first song you ever like wrote and put out for the world to hear?
Put out. Okay, so I did this little EP thing. My buddy, his name is Logan Sage. We went to high
Hmm.
school together, and one day he messaged me out of nowhere. He's like, "Hey, you sing songs, right?" And I was like, "Yes, sir, I do." And he told me like I have this YouTube channel. It's called The Range. Like, you want to be like one of my guests, and sing some tunes?" And I was like, "Yeah, it'll be fun." And so at the time, I didn't know what kind of music I want to do. Like I said, like I'm very grateful that I got to be on Idol because it really helped me figure out what path I wanted to go with music.
Hmm.
Um, and at some point I wanted to do country music. I just didn't know how. I didn't want to like so. Um, we did this little session at the range, and I released like these 3 songs, and they gave me all the audio files, and I was like, okay, I got these audio files. I should release them, and that's what I did. I found like a really cheap distribution company online on the internet, and then
Okay.
submitted my songs, and it went from there. I didn't think much about it. It was just acoustic and vocals, and that's when I realized like I want to actually produce my own songs. Like I want to add like drums. I want to add steel pedal. I want to do this, and that's when the journey started. Really.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you were on American Idol and being in front of the judges, because like all those judges have been to the top, like have
Yeah.
hit songs, and how how nervous were you when you actually have to be on stage and sing for them, and then after you're done your song, you have to wait for them to tell you what they thought of it?
Yeah. Honestly, it it was definitely a nerve wracking experience, but I think I was just more excited to be there than nervous. I just wanted to sing. I wanted to
Hmm.
see if I was worth it, in a way. Because all my life, I mean, I didn't. Music was just kind of for my friends and family, like I said. So um, they've always told me, "Hey, like you can take it far," but I never necessarily believed in myself at that moment, and I wanted to give it all during that audition. And after singing the songs, honestly, I don't remember much of it because it was just all a blur. I remember walking towards the panel and then starting my guitar riff, and then from there, it was all blank, really, because
Wow.
it was a surreal moment for me. Yeah, I do
Oh,
remember
wow.
crying afterwards, though. I remember because I was like, I need to call my mom. I need to call my mom and dad right now and let them know that I gotta go and take. Cause I was bawling, to be honest.
Okay, okay. And I know like your hats mean a lot to you. So how many different hats do you have? Like how do you choose the hat you want?
That's a really good question. I know that my style of cowboy hats at least has changed a lot. I used to go with like really wide hats, like 5-inch brim hats, and I kind of get like a JB style where it's very, very, very wide and slightly lifted up. And my crown was like a cool hand loop, but it always changes. Um, I like experimenting different styles of hats. I like different colors.
Okay.
I used to work at a boot store throughout college, and in Nashville, actually, in between shows, I worked at a boot store as well.
Oh,
And
wow.
um, I mean, we got really good discounts on hats. I mean, back in the day, like pre-COVID, hats were
Yeah.
a lot cheaper. Now, I mean, you're paying a dime and a half, for a lot more for sure. So my style hats are very. I love felt season. Felt season is probably my favorite season. I like straw hats as well, but felt. I mean, you can choose different colors. You have your blacks, your chocolates. But my favorite brands are probably Rodeo King and American Hat Co. Resistol as well. But like I said, my style kind of changes. It varies. I really like tall crowns. I'm only five
Okay.
foot ten, so every inch counts for me. So the taller the crown, the better for me.
Gotcha. Gotcha. and, and when you lived in Nashville, when you lived in over there, like that, I've never been there. It's somewhere I always wanted to go and visit, but from what I heard of Nashville, it is like the music city, and like was it ever hard to find gigs out there, because it seems like you can like easily find work, like if you
Yeah.
want to play music live.
No, yeah. I mean, Nashville is definitely a music city. I'm gonna be honest. You have like all of Broadway it's over. I want to say like 30 bars, and every single bar has live music there.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot
Yeah.
of that's a lot of bars with music.
Yeah. So That whole entire trip is just live music, and depending on what side of town you go to, it's very different music too. You know, they have one section for just blues, or they have
Really?
country singers, yeah, and then you have a section of like R&B, soul music, and it's very music oriented to be honest. And
Oh,
um, most of the shows that are out there are a lot of like those cover bands, which is not a bad thing as well. You know, like um, it's really fun. For me, I know that I didn't book a lot of shows in Nashville, to be honest. Most of my shows that I booked were outside of Nashville. So
oh,
I
really?
was based there at the time. Yeah, like I would travel to Texas. I'd travel to New Mexico, Oklahoma, Utah, Arizona, and
Wow.
yeah. So I'd take my guys with me and we travel across the country just to play those shows. And that's honestly the main reason why I moved back to New Mexico is just so I'm more centrally located to my fan base, but also
Yeah.
um, still keep in touch to my roots is one of my biggest things. Um, I didn't want Nashville changing who I was, and I didn't want
Exactly.
um, that whole perspective of it all to change my whole entire music career. So that's why I kind of just moved back. But Nashville is amazing. It really truly is a music city. There's music everywhere. It's
Wow.
really, really fun. I highly
Okay.
recommend it.
Yeah, definitely have to go there like one weekend or something.
Yeah,
Definitely want to.
yeah, you should.
And two songs I listened to before I came on here, and like I said, I really enjoyed them a lot. Like your voice is incredible. Was is Shadow of a Man and Gone Fishing. Like I listened to them, and you sound amazing in them.
Thank you
And
so much.
like, what do those two songs mean to you?
Honestly, Gone Fishing is one of those songs that really does mean a lot to me. Growing up, my dad was around, but because he was in the military, he was constantly overseas or he was out doing work. You know, even today, he is technically retired, but he works as a private contractor for the military. And because of that, like, we only had certain moments together where we can bond. I love my dad. My
Okay.
dad and I have gotten closer as I gotten older. But there was moments in my life, and especially my childhood, where um, my dad would ask me, "Hey, do you want to go do this? Do you want to do that?" And, you know, I told him, "No, Dad, I'm gonna stay home. You know, I'm gonna do this instead." And the beauty of like Gone Fishing is that although you may have said like no to your dad or so, you know, he asked you to go fishing. Let's just say that you wanted to go fishing, but you decided not to go. There's still time for you to spend and make those memories now. You know,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
that's why I really had an amazing time riding Gone Fishing with my friend. His name is Gabriel Bouchard, and we met in L.A. And one of the first times I went to Nashville, he's like, "Hey, let's ride." I was like, "Let's do it." And that's what came out of it. You know, we wanted to have a song that we both can relate to in a sense, and something that's memorable, and it's kind of like a call to power. You know, if you want from me now, might as well ask. You know, the worst that they can say is no. You did.
You're right.
Go hang out with your dad. Make those memories because those memories are worth way more than everything else that's going on.
Oh
So
no,
that's
yeah.
one that really did mean a lot to me. Shadow was also interesting. Um, Shadow of Man I wrote in 10 minutes actually, but this was like 4 years ago.
That is pretty quick to write a song.
4 or 3 I think around there. Actually, I want to say probably 2 years ago, not four.
Okay, okay.
Closer to 2 years ago, but yeah, I got out of a really bad breakup, and that's what Shadow of Man came out of it.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
That's pretty quick to write a song.
yeah,
That's really cool.
yeah. Probably one of the fastest songs ever written in my life. I just never
I'm
thought I'd be able
sure.
to. Yes, and I'm grateful that I did. You know.
Yeah. And you have a new song like you you just mentioned you have a new song that's dropping on March 8th, which is Friday, which is tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's called Me, God, and You. And what
Yes.
inspired you to write the song and make it?
Yeah. So it's kind of funny. When I was still living in Nashville, I had a roommate. His name was TJ Getch, and my guitar player Preston Martin. All three of us kind of sat around and we're like, we need to write a song. And that's what we tried to do. We tried writing some songs and we started thinking about, you know, relying a lot on the bottle itself. You know, I've definitely been in that position where um, I kind of lost faith in myself, and I
Mhm.
resorted to drinking, and instead of resorting to God or so. And we started talking about little ideas from there, like losing your job or losing your girlfriend or losing certain things in your life, and you kind of go through the spiral of losing faith in your religion, but also keeping that faith in a sense, but also relying on the bottle. And we started writing different ideas, and from there we finished writing, and we were gonna throw the song away. I want to be honest, we were all gonna throw the song away, but the next day we went back to it and picked it up, pick up the pace of the song, different little licks, and we're like, this could go somewhere. And we took it to the studio, took it to my friend Jesse. He's an amazing producer in Nashville, and ultimately this is where we're at now. And I'm really, really excited for the song to release.
Wow. What did what did you love most about like making the song and just concentrating and then writing it?
Yeah, I think the fun part about writing that song is I got to do it with some of my closest friends. It's a song that we've all gone through, and because of that we had some sort of meaning towards it. And the other part that is super fun is that I remember we played the song on the road every single show that we could. You know, even though the song wasn't released yet, we loved it. We just kept playing and playing and playing. And
Nice.
finally,
Nice.
I mean, I took it to my producer and I was like, hey, can I bring my guys and play the song with you? And we brought my guitar players, my bass player, and we kind of just had a blast recording in the
Okay.
studio.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah.
And what do you love most about being live, like doing live music, being in front of people?
I think my favorite part about playing live shows is that I get to interact with the people around me. Um, I mean, I don't care if there's one person in the crowd. I don't care if there's five people. I don't care if there's thousands, or hundreds. If someone's listening to my tune, that's all that matters to me. It just shows that like someone's listening to me and the things that I'm doing are the right things, you know. And it's truly amazing how one video can blow up to such an extreme. And now I get to travel the country, play these shows, and meet the fans that got me to that position. So seeing them really makes my day completely. I kind of do music for myself, but it's also for others. If I can connect people on a deeper level, that's what I want to do with my music and bring old country music back.
Nice, nice. If you could do a song with someone, who would you want to do a song with?
Ooh, it's a good question. Alive or dead?
I guess alive.
Alive. Probably a good answer. um, honestly, either Cody Johnson, George Strait, or Alan Jackson. Um,
Okay.
I mean, like I said, I grew up to a lot of George Strait, a lot of Alan Jackson music. It was very soulful. They all had meaning and they all had purpose. And I'm a true believer that Cody Johnson is that neo traditionalist of this time. I mean, he's, in my opinion, the George Strait of this time. He still ropes and rides just like George does, and he all the songs that he sings about is about his lifestyle. And sorry about that. Um,
It's all good.
but yeah, probably one of those three folks for sure.
Nice. And when you're not making music, what do you like doing during your free time?
During my free time, I like fishing. Only issue is I live in New Mexico, so we got no water. Um, so that's all right. I go shooting a lot. It's a great way for me to ease my mind. But if I'm not doing that, I mean, I'm a big Star Wars fan. To be honest, I love Star Wars. I love rodeos. So when rodeo season comes around, I'll go to any rodeo I can. Um, I like playing hockey. That's one of
Hockey,
my hobbies.
nice.
Yes, sir. Yes, I love hockey. When I was in college, I played um, at like a local club in El Paso, Texas, and I did that almost every single night. But mostly just, I mean, music is really what my life is surrounded by. It's all music. Um, I love handy work stuff, so if you give me tools, I'll do whatever I can. I don't mind learning. Learning is one of those things I really do enjoy doing. Um, I do enjoy flying. I haven't flown in a while, but um, I enjoy flying as well. A lot of different things. I
Okay.
like to keep myself busy whenever I can.
Nice. And where would you like to travel to that you haven't seen yet?
Honestly, one place I'd love to travel to like is probably like Ireland or something. I know
Okay.
that like, back in the day, I mean, Garth Brooks, he would go play shows around the world, and I believe it was Ireland that he would go to, and it got to a point where all his tickets were sold out, and he put a concert the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and it just shows like there's people who love country music everywhere. I'd love to travel over there. I'd love to travel to Australia. My family is from Indonesia. I'd love to
Oh,
travel
okay.
more of Indonesia and experience the different cultures and such.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
so yeah, do a lot of different things like that. Love to go to Africa one day as well. Do some hunting out there, maybe. But I want to travel as much as I can. But most importantly is I want to travel all 50 states. That's one thing I
Okay.
want to do first is travel all 50 states, and then from there maybe travel to every single province in Canada, and then from there go out of the country.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. And what, besides your famous green chili, what foods do you like to eat?
Oh, I love everything to be honest. I'm a big food guy. When we're on the road, we try to stop at different local
Okay.
restaurants and such. And I love like Tex-Mex food.
Hmm.
There's a place here in Las Cruces, New Mexico called Andale's Doghouse, and it's very Tex-Mex. It's amazing. I love it. They have like a self-serve bar for different salsas and stuff. So I really enjoy that.
Really?
Yeah, it's great. I love tacos and I love Indonesian food as well.
Nice.
my mom was born and raised in Indonesia, and
Oh, wow.
because of that, I grew up eating a lot of the different foods, and I lived with a lot of that culture. So, love Indonesian food. I love Asian food in general. I love sushi.
I
Um,
love Asian food too. Like, oh my God, it's so
it's
good.
amazing, truly is. From different
Yes.
countries, it's so amazing how a lot of these different countries all are next to each other, but it could be so vast
I
and
know. Like,
really good.
it tastes different too.
Yeah,
Like I had Thai food and Vietnamese food and of
yeah,
course s- sushi and Chinese food
yeah.
but like everything has like a different taste.
It really does. Yeah, it's truly amazing. But besides that, I mean, I love I do a lot of hunting, like I said. So like my fridge is stocked up with elk. I'll cook a lot of different meals with my elk and
Nice,
burgers and
nice.
steaks. Steaks are pretty great too. Enjoy steak.
I I like wild game too. Like I venison, elk, and
Yeah,
bison and stuff like that. Like I prefer that over beef. Like if I
yeah,
go out to a suit supermarket, instead of buying beef, I buy either like venison or bison. Like
yeah.
I prefer that over beef.
That's fair. It's really cool too because you know what they're eating because they're eating from the land. So it's
Well,
very
yeah,
good for
exactly.
you. It's very very good for you.
And you mentioned the in Indonesian food. Like I always heard about it, I just never had it yet.
Yeah,
Philadelphia really doesn't have any Indonesian places for some reason.
yeah.
And like what's like a good dish to get? Like if I would go to a Indonesian place.
Ooh. So my favorite dish that I grew up eating was it's called rendang. So rendang
Okay.
is like this like dry beef curry, and it's truly amazing. It's not too spicy. Sometimes they have potatoes in it and stuff, but it's really amazing. You put that on rice, and I remember eating that since I was a baby. I loved it. I really do enjoy it, and every single time my mom makes it, I'm like, Mom, can I steal some, please, and take it over? So that's one thing I recommend. And then there's this thing called baso. So baso is
Okay.
this it's a soup, but the baso itself is like a meatballs, and you put
Ooh,
meatballs in the soup and put noodles in it. It's really really good as well.
damn, that sounds good. I like that.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. And are you more of a coffee or tea person?
I love coffee. That's one thing I really enjoy is I love coffee. I do like tea too. I think it's called chrysanthemum. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's probably one of my favorite teas. But
Okay.
coffee, I really enjoy. I mean, my girlfriend and I we like to go to different coffee shops whenever we can,
Nice.
and that's one thing I like doing. I remember the first time I went to Nashville, I found my favorite coffee spot. It's called I want to say it's called Crema. I forgot. It's right by the Cumberland River, right next to Broadway as well. like from downtown,
Okay.
and I was there with my friends. They're all musicians as well. They play for a guy named Cam Allen. We were both on American Idol actually, so it's kind of funny. But we were all getting coffee, and I think I had like 4 or 5 cups
4 or 5
in an hour.
cups.
And I was like, oh my god, this is truly amazing. So I tried like as much as I could on the menu, and Lord have mercy, my stomach did not like that, but I enjoyed it still.
I'm sure your heart was racing too.
My heart was racing. It was a great time.
And who's on your playlist? Like, who's currently on your playlist that you're listening to?
Right now, I'm listening to Zach Top, Jake Worthington, Randall King, and George Strait.
Okay. And if you had to pick a karaoke song, what do you think you would do?
Ooh, that's a really really good question. Um, so one of my favorite artists is Tracy Lawrence, and I probably do "How a Cowgirl Says Goodbye." That's my go-to karaoke song. Yeah.
Nice. What kind of films do you like? Like, are you comedy, horror, action? Like, what kind of films?
Honestly, I like a lot of different types of films. I love action movies. I like romance movies as well. Something I bonded with my mom, so I enjoy watching those. But comedy movies are pretty great too. I like old westerns. Westerns are
Nice.
pretty great as well. But yeah, mix up kind of everything.
Okay, sweet, sweet. And is there anything coming up for you that you want to plug? I mean, we got me, God, and You be out on March 8th tomorrow. Is there
Yeah.
anything else too that you would like to plug?
Honestly, just to check out my socials. I have some new stuff coming out. I have a lot planned for this year. Hopefully, I tackle every single one of them and kind of check them off one by one. But for sure, check out Me Gone and You. It's truly amazing. I love that song a lot. And it's one of those songs that means a lot to me. So, um,
Sweet.
yeah.
And I don't know if you can or not because you probably don't have anything in the room with you. Could we hear a sneak peek, or do you not have you don't have anything in your room
I
or?
don't have a guitar with me, but I can go grab one if you like.
Yeah, sure.
I'll be back. Hold on,
Okay. Go.
let me tune this sucker up real quick.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Thanks. Thanks for doing it.
Of course. I like you too much. I gotta make sure that the guitar's in tune. You know.
There you go. That's a really nice shirt too. What kind of
Thank you.
shirt is that?
I'm not too sure what the brand is. I wouldn't say it's like a panhandle sim. A lot of my clothes are from like thrifting. I like
Uh,
clothes that were on your grandpa type of stuff, you know. It's my
yeah.
style. Um, but yeah, I love pearl snap shirts like this, and I found this one. I want to say in the middle of Texas. I was like, yes, I want you. You're coming home with me, and that's exactly what happened.
Nice, nice.
All right, here we go. Here's a little bit of me on you. If that's okay with you.
Definitely.
Here we are again in a corner TV booth, looking for a higher power, need a little proof. Won't you help me ease my mind, drown away my sin? I'm causing all this trouble, but I want it all to end. Don't need a long neck, Lord, I need something stronger. Spirits on nice, but last me a little longer. Don't care if it's a neon corner booth, a Sunday morning pew. Gonna keep my secrets between me and you. My baby hit the road. She left me 'cause my drinking. I guess she ain't a big old fan of my newfound religion. Boss man, let me go. You can smell it on my breath. I ain't got a job, ain't got a girl. What the hell do I have left? Don't need a long neck, Lord, I need something stronger. Spirits on nights will last me a little longer. Don't care if it's a neon corner blue, Sunday morning pew. Gonna keep my secrets between me, God, and you. A little bit of that one.
Wow. That's really good. That was really really good. I like that a
Thank you
lot.
so much. That means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, like the music, your voice, the lyrics. Yeah, definitely, man. That sounded really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. And the last thing I will ask you is like, where can fans follow you at? Like, what's your pages and socials and all that stuff?
Yeah. So we're on every single platform you can think of. It's just Dzaki Sukarno. So if you look up DZAKI, I guarantee you the only one that pops up. So if you look that up, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, you name it, DZAKI. I guarantee you the only one that pops up.
Awesome, buddy. Well, it was really nice meeting you. Like,
You
thanks,
too.
thanks for doing this.
No, thank you for having me. It really does mean a lot, like I said.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, if you're ever in Philadelphia doing a show, I'll definitely come out and see you.
I definitely would love to come out there. My cousin lives out in Pennsylvania, so I definitely have to check out there.
Oh, okay, nice, nice. Awesome, buddy. Well, again, thanks for doing this. It was really nice meeting you.
No, thank you. It was great meeting you as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a really good night, and I will post this probably in like a couple hours because I want to post this before your song is out.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much, man.
You got it, buddy.
All
Have a
right.
good one, man.
You too. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.